Why do nations trade? How do different theories explain trade flows? How is the international trade governed? And why do some countries liberalize their trade while others are more protectionist? Those are the questions that dominated the study about international trade, which will be addressed in this course, Politics of International Trade, with me, Poppy S. Winanti. This course is designed as an introduction to one of the key subjects in international political economy, i.e. international trade. It explores history and development of international trade regime, particularly in the context of post-World War II trade negotiations. This course is important for a number of reasons. First, trade is one of the oldest activities in human civilization. Secondly, trade obviously affects all aspects of human's life. International trade simply can be defined as the exchange of raw materials and manufactured goods and services across national borders. The main reasons why a state engages in international trade is because it's almost impossible for a single country to fulfill its own needs. Due to geographical and climate conditions, or probably because of lack of natural resources and also its limited production capacity and technology. In practice, some countries tend to liberalize its trade, and while some others are implementing more protectionist policies. There are at least two main reasons why a country implements a more liberalized policy. First of all, because of efficiency, which is rooted from the idea of comparative advantage. The second reason is more political, because protectionist policies are perceived as only benefiting certain groups in the society, which are producers, while put more burden to other groups, which are consumers. On the other hand, protectionist policies are taken by some countries due to the reasons to protect local vis-a-vis foreign producers. In addition to that, it was also implemented to protect what considered as strategic industries, as well as to balancing the balance of trade. This course will discuss further four main topics. The first one is about the evolution of the international trade regime. The second topic is about the WTO. The third topic is about the regional economic integration. And the last topic is about contemporary issues on trade. How has international trade regime developed? What sort of political economic conditions that influence the characteristics of certain international trade regime? In answering those questions, it will be discussed the establishment and development of global trading regime, particularly in the post-World War II. It will explore political economic context during the trade negotiations, including under the so-called General Agreements on Tariff and Trade or GATT, the installation of its final agreements under the World Trade Organization, and more recent trade negotiations under the Doha Development Agenda, including the future of the WTO as a global trade regime. How the international trade regime is managed under the WTO and how disputes in trade are settled are the main issues that will be discussed on the topic related to the WTO. In doing so, this meeting will explore the roles of the WTO, its scope of responsibility, as well as negotiating arena. Furthermore, several key issues which have been affecting how the regime is conducted and practiced are also explored. These include issues in agriculture, goods, services, dispute settlement mechanism, intellectual property rights, technical barriers to trade, and more general issues on development under the DDA. How has regional trade arrangement developed? Why there has been a proliferation of regional trade agreements in the last few decades. Under the topic of regional economic integration, these questions will be addressed. This meeting will also focus on the Indonesia-Australia Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement as the latest trade agreement that's signed by the Indonesian government. Last but not least, In order to equip the students with the capacity to analyze political logics and contexts of the current global trade issues, this course will also discuss trade war between the US and China, and more importantly, its implications for global trading system, as well as the economic implications of the COVID-19.